You have to be willing to go to negative reinforcement at the right time in the right situation, or you're never going to get a horse completely trained as good as they can be. I just finished recording the live video with Cupcake here, and she has some wash rack issues that I talked about at the end of that video. I want to put her in the wash rack, and we're going to talk about those and how I'm handling them and why I'm handling the way I am. A different horse with a different situation would be handled totally different, and we'll talk about that as I'm doing it. So she doesn't want to go into the wash rack typically. Let's see how she does today. We're getting better. That was much better. In the beginning, I had to turn her around and back her in like the paint that we started last week. I can't remember her name. It'll come to me in a minute. Get her turn around. So now we're going to unsaddle her here. I always want the wash rack to be, generally want the wash rack to be a good place to be. Place where they get unsaddled, place where they get rinsed when they're hot and it feels good. We're on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It's hot, it's humid, and the water feels good. I get a lot of people questioning about my water temperature. This time of the year, I rinse with straight cold water, but our cold water is not cold water for most of the country. Our air temperature around here is in the 90s. So our straight cold water, being that the water runs in a pipe a little bit underground, our water temperature is close to 90, just cold water. So it's not cold. A lot of people ask that question. So as you see, she's done pretty good getting unsaddled. She walked into the wash rack good. That's improvement. Now I'm going to start rinsing her off. She's going to react as if she's scared of this water. She is not scared of the water. And I know for a fact that she's not scared of the water because when I do certain things with the water, I do not get the reaction that I should get if she was scared of the water. I've talked about in certain situations whether to add pressure or take away pressure depending on what the horse is doing. When you're starting a young horse under saddle and you start reaching the edge of what they can handle, you back off a little bit. And most of the people out there have watched a lot of colt starting videos, a lot of young horse videos, and what they're doing in those videos is not wrong. It's right for that situation. But when you try to apply that to an older horse that doesn't want you to do it, and if you try to handle that like it's a young horse that don't know, you're just going to make a problem worse. You have to understand, you have to be able to tell, is this horse not know, or does this horse not know or doesn't want to? And we talked about that in the live that we just did over. So I am going to take the water and start with her feet. She almost always tries to push forward out of the wash rack. When she does, I'm going to take the water and I'm going to spray her in the face. If she was scared of the water, spraying in her face would blow her up and the problem would get worse. Spraying her in the face, in this situation, this lets her know that I am not going to accept this negative behavior. It's a little bit of negative reinforcement, and I talked about that in the live also. You have to be willing to go to negative reinforcement at the right time in the right situation, or you're never going to get a horse completely trained as good as they can be. Then that's not just a horse, that's anything in life. At some point you have to go to a negative reinforcement. If you're raising your child and You never go to a negative reinforcement. You never take away the phone. You never take away the TV, do something negative so that they see that there are repercussions to their actions. Then that person is not going to be prepared for life later. Same way with a horse. She has to know that there are repercussions for bad behavior, and she has to know that. And that's what I'm gonna show you here, how I'm handling that. So let's see how she takes the water. I'll start with her feet, and if she goes to push through, I'm gonna spray her in the face. Right there, she startled, she stood. We're just gonna sit here. Not gonna push through, we go to the face. I'm not gonna add more pressure until she shows me a negative behavior that I don't want. In her situation, she's not scared of this water. She just don't want it. It's just like everything else. If you didn't watch the live I just did over, you need to watch the live and you'll see how she acts when she don't want something. I get a lot of questions from people talking about my horse is scared of this, my horse is scared of that. A horse can be scared of a lot of things, but older horses also learn actions get reactions from you, and they will act scared as an action to get the reaction from you that you want. So just now, when she went to push forward and I sprayed her in the face, if she was really scared of the water, she would have just panicked and blown through the cross ties and not been able to handle being sprayed in the face. She didn't do that. You, with your horse and your horsemanship, you need to learn how to interpret that and how to learn when to add more pressure, when to back off. Now I'm going to switch sides. I might have to do it again. And through all this, her ears are constantly flicking around. That's another indicator that she's not really scared. If she was really scared, those ears wouldn't be flicking around like they are. Even though she has some actions that can be interpreted as scared, this is not scared. So now I got the saddle marks rinsed away. That's really all I wanted to accomplish as far as rinsing. But the other thing that I accomplished is to let her know that her negative behavior is not going to be accepted. Stopping and petting on her and saying it's okay, that's not going to help the situation. That's not going to help her become more accepting of doing what she is asked to do. This behavior here is the same behavior she's been giving me out when I'm riding her. So if you have not seen that live video, I'll put a link here at the end so you can take a look at it. And you need to address your horse's full picture, everything that's going on, not just one individual situation. Because I'm sure I'm going to get comments on this video that she is scared, I need to do something different. You cannot look at this one video and understand what's going on with the big picture of this horse. If you have a horse that you want to talk to me about getting it in for training, shoot me a message and we'll talk about it. So this is Cupcake. I'll put a link up here to her other videos. Until next time, thank you for watching.